Hi, I'm Ashruti Prahladan, an ex-employee of corporate. Did my 3 years of corporate life and I'm peacefully running my own online fitness training platform right now. Welcome to my channel. In light of what's happening with Anna's incident, I just wanted to share my experience as well about my corporate life. I did work with two companies. One was in Bangalore and one was in Kochi. The Bangalore one was pretty much good. That was my first job. I started off as a corporate employee when I was 20 and a half. I got placed from my campus itself. So, just like Anna, I was very excited about working in corporate and, you know, this whole glamorous lifestyle and everything. And it did feel good, yes. Being financially independent at the age of 20 was was not something silly. McKinsey life was good because we had amazing work-life balance. Even though the shift hour had lots of pressure, inducing stuff and performance tracking and stuff, which was very common in corporate. But post the shift hour, we were never asked to come and work. At the same time, whenever we had overtime working, we used to get paid really well for overtime as well. It was a pretty cool place to work. But I had to come down to Kochi to be with my parents, so I did quit my McKinsey life 1.5 year into it, and I did join into another firm in Infopark. They told me I would be asked to work for a 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. shift, which was pretty cool. Started working with this new firm. It was a total different experience from McKinsey because McKinsey is a well-established firm and they had a really good work flow planning done so that we just had to go work and leave. Here we have to find out the flow and then work, which used to take a lot of time. I've never worked for 9 to 6. The team call always did fluctuate from 11 a.m., 11:30, 12 noon to then we start the work. And it used to stretch till 10, 11 at night. I wouldn't say that we were asked to work from 11 to 11 continuously in front of the laptop. No. It was like the work was split around the entire day that I used to feel like I'm always at work. Starting the day, looking at your phone, the first thing you would be seeing is good morning team message and a bunch of other messages regarding work and emails and calls and meetings and everything in your team WhatsApp group. And then you actually have the team call at 11 or 11:30, and then you actually get into work. By the time you already have this whole to-do list set for the work day, and then until night you might get work, as in even if you want to get out of work at 6, it has never been possible. Okay. So my experience with this my previous firm was like I never got to work for the shift that they actually hired me for, and they used to make me feel like I'm at work right from the moment I wake up till the moment I sleep. Second time, it was slowly affecting my mental health because my brain was always in work mode, and I was trying to squeeze in my life into my work life, just like eating, bathing, working out, or spending time with my family, spending time with friends, taking care of pets. Doing anything and everything had to fit into my work schedule. It was not like work was scheduled into life, it was like life was scheduled into work. I still remember from morning till night when I was stuck at work and I was in my competition prep and I was unable to go to the gym. At night, when my friends video call me, I just burst out into tears. Like, I am working and I am unable to find 1 hour or 2 hour to go to the gym and work out when I am competing, when I'm like prepping for competition. And it used to break my heart. But work was something that fueled in my prep, and that uh, money, that salary, that secure income is something that helped me drive through the competition. So I did have to stick through it. There was this clocking in time thing, as in you get the time you punch in your ID and the time you punch out your ID is what's clocked in your hour. If that's so, it would have been good. But the moment you step out to go to the washroom, you have to punch out because the washroom is in the floor. And the moment you punch out, that 10 minutes or 15 minutes that you spend in the washroom is not calculated into the work hour. Think about this. Okay, like what if you're on your periods and you end up having a massive bleeding or something, and then you have to like sit in the washroom? Or let's say worst part, what if you got a panic attack and you had to sit in the washroom, or you have loose motion and you have to like sit in the washroom and you spend like 30-40 minutes in the washroom or something, or else you fainted or something of that sort. Still, the time that get cancelled out never gets added into the clock in hour. Okay, and you have to spend that 1.5 hour extra to get that 6 hours clocked in your day. The worst part is, if the clocking in hour is 5:59, as in 5 or 59 minutes, still it will be calculated as half day because you didn't fill in that 6 hours. Then you have to again go for another half day shift to fill in that 1 minute to make that half day a full day. So many shitty rules for this particular office. The worst part is, never having a shifter was affecting my productivity, my creativity, quality of work, my mental health. And the funniest part is, people there come in at 9 o'clock and stay till 9 o'clock at night and still complain about not having time to work out or eat well or anything. And I used to ask them, like, is the office asking you to work this much time? They're like, there is so much work, the managers push us to do it, and shift to, even if there is a shift hour, but we never get to work for the shift time. And I'm like, you do have voice to tell that, right? Because I step out of the office when I want to. When I think my work is done and my clock in hour is done, I step out of the office. I never want to die for the company because I know I'm easily replaceable. And just like in Anna's case, if I die because of work, they might not even show up for my funeral. Then why am I working hard and dying for the company? I would never do that. Like, people still come at 9 and stay till 9 and just like romanticize or glorify this whole hustling culture and like being in office from day till night and not even getting time to eat or work out. I'm like, I feel sad for you. I make time to work out, I make time to eat. You should also do it. Okay, when it comes to the team that I was working with, it was a very friendly team. Everything was there. There was one employee who used to make everything seem like he's doing a lot of work, sending messages at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., etc. Whereas his work was always being appreciated because he works overtime ish, kind of. And people like me and my another co teammate who used to have a life outside of work, like workout, band, music, family, friends. We wanted to get out of work at 6 or 7 or at least 8 o'clock. We were characterized as people who were not dedicated to work, who considered work as this part of life, which is how it is supposed to be. But yeah. So, and I was always being called Gen Z, because I used to tell them what I actually feel like. And I used to tell them about how boundaries matters, as in setting boundaries is important at work, and how important it is to work with a shift time so that it actually complements your mental health, help you grow and do the work in life and everything in a perfect balance. But in the team, 3 people out of the 5 was married and had kids and had like a family life. So they literally didn't have a life outside of work. So it was just family and kids and the work. As it was work from home, it was very easy for them to like wake up and hop on to the laptop, do some work, spend time with family and kids, and do the housework and stuff like that, and then again hop on to work, hop on to family, hop on to work. It was very easy for them. And then they are at a stage of life where they're just concerned about work. I would say they're not living at all, because they just, what they do is they work so fucking hard for like months, and they go for a 2-3 week long trip somewhere. They're literally escaping out of their life, hustling life. Whereas I am really happy with my life, that I don't really feel like traveling or taking break from life, because I am chill, I am at peace, likewise. But at work, I was not. Always I wanted to have leave, always I wanted to like go somewhere or do workout or like escape from work. That's what. So these people didn't have a life outside of work, so that they were so into work that the other people who normalized work-life balance were seen as abnormal. Sarcastically insulted about this. Hey Ash, you cannot always have a work mindset where you have to get out of work at 6 and 6:30 if you want to grow at work in corporate. I'm like, I know, but what to do? I even had to pull a fake therapy card at my work to get a shift time sorted. I had to tell my boss that I consulted with my therapist for my stress and issues, and they told I have generalized anxiety disorder, which I don't have. At that time, I didn't even consult a therapist. And I had to pull this card because I had to pull the mental health card at work to actually get something which is written in their employee welfare form. Okay. Because you usually ask for a shift time, it doesn't happen. Like for 2 3 days, I got a 6:37 p.m. slack time, and then I had to like get out. But posted it again, then back to the same thing. So this is how life is. Okay. I had to work for a KPMG client visit thing, which was happening in office, and I was dumped with a lot of documents. Basic practice is like people would come at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock on a Friday and ask me to get it ready for Saturday. They had the guts to call me on my personal number at like 8 9 p.m. on a Friday or a Saturday and ask me to work. Are you on your laptop, Ash? I'm like, it's a Saturday and it's 8 p.m. How do you expect me to be on my laptop? Then they're like, oh, sorry. There used to be this lady who is working for like 12 years in this particular firm, called me on a Friday at 5 p.m. and like, hey, Ashwati, I need this document for tomorrow. I am like, I don't work during the weekends. And it's a pretty big deck. Okay. And then she's like, Ashwati, we don't have Mondays, Sundays, Saturdays, or anything. I've been working here for 12 years. That's how I came. That's how I reached here and stuff like that. Then I felt so sorry for her. I told her, hey, I totally appreciate and respect your work ethics and dedication towards work and work-life balance and whatever. But I prefer my work-life balance this way. I don't work here in the weekends. And there is this thing that's happening. People who were like putting work at the end of the day for us would not put these stuff to writing, like not in an email or a text message or anything. They would just come and call and tell you so that we don't really have a proof to tell our senior leaders. And this lady went and told the senior employee, she gave it to me earlier and I told her I cannot work. And I told her I don't have proof that she told this because she came on call and told this. Post that, I started sending everything and on email, so they cannot really like scam me and put every blame on me. So because they used to give you vague instructions, okay, like very vague instructions, and you just have to figure it out. To figure that out, you take time, and that time is what they expect us to work and give out the out. And I'm like, no, it doesn't work that way. So they used to like constantly put me on pressure, and it was so hard. And one day, when this became too much, and when the boss was all over my head, I had to think about resigning. And then he was like, Ash, try it for like a month. Let's review every weekend. And I was like, okay, maybe I should give it a try. Then I told I need a time slot and then where I'll work so that I can like think about this whole work productivity thing. And we tried it, and then still they started bringing up a lot of issues. And he used to started sarcastically hatred, rude comments and everything through Teams. And say, hey Ash, it's not helping the way you're responding to stuff, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my god, this is really getting out of hand. The next day when he was on call, he was blabbering some sort of stuff, and then I was just listening. And when he started being rude, then I'm like, I'm dropping papers. Then there was silence because he never thought a Gen Z like me, who have bought a lot of gadgets, a scooter, and stuff like that, would actually drop the papers when we have like a lot of EMIs and stuff. I am really good at financial planning, and I really did have everything sorted, so I didn't really care about dropping papers, because just like how I tell, don't stay where you're not celebrated. Don't stay where you're not respected. Always take care of your mental health, because it's your own journey. Not even your parents, not even your friends, not even your partner, not even your friends, none of them will be there with you. So if you take care of your mental health, you live longer. You live happy, healthy, peaceful life. Or else no one is gonna help you out. So always prioritize your mental health. Make it a priority. Take care of it, even while you're at work or with family or in relationship or anything. Stop this hustling culture, or else stop romanticizing this hustling culture. Make sure you take breaks when it's necessary, and don't let your managers and team and everybody ride over you. Set your boundaries right, talk back at them, do your work properly, and tell them that you need break, you need a shift hour, and don't show up after the work. Don't. That's it. Just do for the payment that you're getting and the work that they have asked you to do at the time of interview. So the people working currently in my previous firm, guys, working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. is not something that you should be proud of. Get a life, take care of your mental health and life. So, all the best. Bye.